We're
Wait,
live, right?
wait.
Hey there.
Okay, now we're live.
Wait. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. There we are. Yeah, I can hear me. Nice hat, by the way.
Oh,
I
thank
just
you.
want to say, hey, everybody, welcome to ADP 420. This is where we like to smoke a little bit of weed and talk a little bit about football. Most recently, it was wild card weekend, super wild weekend. The NFL with that, just regular wild card weekend this time. And do you feel like it was just a regular wild card weekend, or do you feel like there might have been something super about it?
I don't know about super. I honestly thought it was kind of almost every game was a blowout. Only the Commanders Bucks game was really the good game. A lot of the games were close. Every game was close at half except for the Ravens game. I will say that. So, at least up to half, it was a little bit entertaining for most of the
Yeah.
games. But yeah, I mean,
Well,
you know, I thought it was a kind of how we thought most of the only game that really. I mean, we talked about, we'll talk about later about it, but the Chargers Texans. I mean, well, I think every game, but the you thought the Broncos were going to win for some reason. We both had the Chargers winning, but we also both agreed that Chargers could very
I
easily lose the game.
blow it. Yeah, I wouldn't say that that game was as much of the Texans winning it as much as I would say it was the Chargers losing it. But honestly, a playoff appearance period is best for that franchise just to prove that Harbaugh can get them there. You know.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, I don't think so. I
But
disagree. I think that's the worst thing that could
do you
honestly.
want to lead with that one? Oh,
Oh, sorry. I think you might be a little bit. Uh,
really?
we might be a little bit delayed here.
Okay.
Yeah, by about maybe I'm gonna count to when I'm gonna count to one, two, three. Tell me when I hit three. Oh wait, that never mind. It's about like
What?
8 seconds.
What? Am I the one that's delayed or you?
I don't know if it's me or you. I think it's like it's
Okay.
it's me to you.
I mean, it's probably me with my janky internet.
You wanna try just go to voice and see if
Um,
it fixes it?
well, we can. Nah, that's fine. We got this. We can power through.
Okay. I mean, it's a good like 8 seconds, I think.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull up this. Oh, you seem to be responding on time. Are you talking about a delay between us and whenever it's coming out of the YouTube?
No, there's a delay from when I say it to you hearing it.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it might just be. I really do think it's just my internet being janky.
No, I know, but
But
but I'm saying though it's
um,
because I'm talking
go ahead.
like okay, I'm gonna count to three, and you tell me when you hear three. Okay, one, two, three.
Okay. Now
It's 9 seconds.
it's 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Wait, so you said one, two, three, and as soon as I heard that three, I said, "Wow, ooh, that's rough." Um, yeah, we can work with this. It'll be fine. There just might be a little bit of a periods of us just sort of talking.
Yeah. Let
You
me
know,
see if
I think
I
it'll be all right.
can. Um,
Yeah, let me go see if there's something I can do.
Oh man, I cannot believe Chargers lost this game.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Hopefully that'll help.
Okay. You want to try that? You want to try again, or do you want to just try and power through?
I think we should power through. I
Alright.
think that we kind of have to, given the circumstances, and we're already in it, so we need to commit to it.
Alright, let's do it. I would just try and
All right.
act like we
Texans,
all have
Chargers.
a. Oh, sorry. See, we'll try and I'll just try and always remember to pause at least like 5 seconds after I'm done talking.
And should I just immediately start talking when you're done, since there's going to be a delay anyway?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. We were on Chargers, Texans. You said it was bad that they made the playoffs with Harbaugh in the first year. Explain your reasoning.
Oh, I don't think it's ever good that they're winning. I don't know. I don't think it's good to go to the playoff and then to playoffs and lose, especially at like 11-6 record. You know, you're probably the best record out of. Well, I guess never mind the Vikings, but going to the playoffs and losing in the wild card weekend isn't good. Like they're not like a young team. Justin Herbert's not in like his rookie. You know, he's not a rookie. You know, it's like they've always been on the precipice and can't get it
Hmm.
done. Like bringing in Harbaugh and still doing the exact same thing. I don't think that's I don't think that's very good. Oh, I can't. You're not coming through now. I have no audio on you. I didn't mute you. Hmm, let me try. Muting and unmuting didn't do it. It's still. Huh. That's weird. But I assume you can still hear me. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Like through Discord? Um, Not muted. I'm muting you, muting you. Did you mute yourself somehow? You're not muted on here. Let me just delete the. Oh, I don't want to Maybe my headset's dead. Hold on. Oh no, not if you can hear me, because I'm on audio. Yeah. Um,
Can you hear me?
oh,
Check,
there,
check.
there you go. There it is.
Hello.
Yeah, got you back.
Can you hear me at all?
Yeah,
It
I
says
can.
I'm coming through on Discord.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you not hear me now?
Hey, I'm coming through on the stream now.
Yeah, can you not hear me? I'm not muted.
No, I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, no, I have to I'm putting maybe it's something on my end. I'm putting my um things in. Whatever these things are called. I forget what
Oh,
they are.
AirPods.
Thank you. AirPods.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what I was gonna call them, man.
Oh, I think
But
that fixed the delay. If you can hear me, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Count
1, 2, 3.
now.
Okay, you're fucking with me. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
Okay. Wow, that fixed it. Okay, cool. Hey, look at that.
All
We're
right.
back, baby.
Okay. I guess it was just an issue with the microphone over here.
Yeah.
But I have my earbuds in. That's what I was going to call them, earbuds. And I'm pretty sure that was the trademarked term.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Or is it AirPod? No, AirPods is definitely trademarked.
No, AirPods is if it's Apple. Earbuds would be like just the colloquial term for it. Is that the word? Colloquial?
Okay. That's just what we call it. Yeah. Colloquial. Yeah. Just what everybody calls it.
Yeah,
You
there's
know.
earbuds. Yeah, like for any type of microphone or a speaker, I mean, that goes into your ear.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's a lot of. Sorry, I was just at a Magic store, so I'm thinking about how Magic players, whenever they talk about infinite combos, there's always that one guy that's like, well, actually, an infinite combo means it ends in a draw.
Yeah, because
And
there's
it's
no way
like,
out
dude,
of it.
colloquially speaking,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, colloquially, everybody knows what they mean is a game-ending combo, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, colloquial. All right. Um, so now that we have everything back online, we had what? Texans and Chargers.
Yeah.
You think it's insane. You think it's a crazy take that it's good that the Chargers even made it.
Yeah,
You're on the opinion that they should fire Harbaugh?
no, I don't think that they should fire Harbaugh. I just, I think if you're a team like going 11-6 and then losing in the first round to a team that's been, especially like a team like the Texans, been on the slide, um, like
Hmm,
in the way that they lost, like it's not encouraging to lose like they have in the last 2 years. It's just I don't
right.
know. If I'm a Chargers fan, I'm not like, oh, we at least we made the playoffs. I'd be mad going to the playoffs and losing 12-32 to like what everyone thought was going to be. Everyone was talking about how the Chargers are a free win, or the Texans, I mean, are a free win. The Texans,
Texans,
Steelers
yeah.
was supposed to be like the turd bowl, like the fraud bowl. Like, oh, these are two fraud
Yeah.
teams.
Man, how do you think it would have gone if it was Steelers Texans?
From how they played, I think the Texans take it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Texans did win their game, so that makes
Yeah,
sense.
and I mean,
But yeah,
well,
no, I agree. I kind of thought.
yeah, Steelers didn't
Go
look
ahead.
that good. I mean, I know the Ravens defense is probably better than the Texans defense, but I still think the Steelers probably wouldn't have been able to do much against the Texans. I mean, I don't think that the Steelers offense is better than the Chargers offense.
Hmm.
It's not on paper in my mind.
The the Ravens have a safety named Kyle Hamilton. They drafted in the first round a couple years back,
Yeah.
and he's very, very good.
No, yeah.
And they moved him to deep safety
Yeah.
at like week 11, and they haven't lost a game since. Um,
But
so you
yeah,
should be great. You should be grateful that they're getting knocked out soon, and you're
we'll
not gonna
see.
have to play against them.
We did fine the first time.
But
Make it through. Oh, yeah, we'll get to, yeah.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
I
So
think
Chargers Texans. Oh,
oh no, yeah, I think it's I think the Texans looked better than, everyone thought they were, but I think that's also just on the Chargers being the Chargers. I don't think that, Texans are gonna win next week, that's for sure.
do you think that being discounted and considered the underdog of their conference is going to inspire them at all?
To beat the Chiefs, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to just get there, to even get to the AFC championship.
Oh, I know. I mean, they play the Chiefs. We play the Texans. They have to get through the Chiefs to make it. If they come through and beat the Chiefs, then yeah, absolutely. Like, damn, they look like a good team. I think that they might be able to beat.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I forgot that
it's Bills
yeah,
Ravens.
the other lower seeds got knocked out. The Texans have to play the Chiefs. Dude, that would be crazy. We'll get there, but I don't think Texans are taking that one. I actually missed a lot of this game. Now, this was apparently the most exciting game of the weekend. Well, second most exciting, but from what I've seen online. and I missed this one. I was playing Mario Party Jamboree with my kiddo.
Yeah, no, it was a fun game to watch. Like the score makes it seem like it wasn't, but like and honestly, it was kind of a fun game to watch.
Hmm. I mean,
And
I had it on in the background, and I remember Lad McConkey having a huge, like 82-yard touchdown,
86, yeah.
and then I was like, "That's crazy." And then I go and I do my turn on Mario Party, and I look back up, and the Texans are running a kickback. I was like, "Whoa, what happened?"
Yeah, Lad McConkey got the huge like it was like 3-play drive, 86-yard pass, like it was on like 3rd and 21 or something like that. I went to go get a drink or something and then like came back and heard them cheering and so I was just like, "Oh wow, what the hell?" And then yeah, I
That's
watched
crazy.
the kick get blocked and returned for the 2 points, which is just so fun to see. Honestly, like
Yeah,
that's
you
just
don't
it.
see that often.
Yeah, and then what was also fun for me as a Chiefs fan was they had the first play of the drive threw a pick six, and then turned around and threw another interception the next drive.
Yeah, yeah.
So that
Herbert,
was
Herbert. Whew. Would you say that was more of a testament to the Texans' defense, or how just Justin Herbert being a Charger, being the starting quarterback for the LA Chargers?
yeah, I don't know. Some of them it looked like
Hey,
he high pointed one of them that was like way over the intended receiver. Um,
yeah, and one of them was Will Disley not catching it.
Yeah, one of them I think wasn't his fault, but then the other one was like the receiver was in the air as high as he could jump, and it was still like it was through his hand, still like over his hands, and just
Mhm.
straight into the arms of the receiver. So one of them he high pointed, and
You know
just
why? You know why the Chargers don't have any fans? The one weekend that you need to show out for LA, they didn't.
hmm yep,
Hmm. Chargers let down their city.
yeah, but the Rams showed up for him,
Rams
but
picked them up, Flo. They picked up for it. Hmm. If in case you're watching this in the future, right now there are historic wildfires occurring in California, specifically the LA area. If
oh,
you
I'm
just
sure.
happen to be watching this in the future
If this
for
is how
whatever
you're if
reason.
this is how you're tracking your watch, somewhere there's an alien that's gonna be like cursed to sift through hours
This,
of our
this is going to
footage.
be just gets sentenced is sent into space
Yeah, this is gonna be
thousands
how
of
they're
years
gonna
from
have to
now.
learn
They
about
find
the NFL.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're already going to have to learn about that, get it through the season,
yeah.
and then they're going to have to be like, oh, this was one of those earlier wildfires.
Oh no.
Oh no, this planet ain't looking great.
Yeah.
Anyway, uh, so what do we got? I don't really. I really thought the Chargers were going to win this one, but I thought it was going to be more of just the Texans just not doing well because they haven't been doing great these last few weeks.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of think they looked a little bit formidable. Can they take the
After
Chiefs?
this, at the
I don't
second
know. I
quarter,
think.
they did. I agree.
Hmm?
The second quarter, those two drives, very nice drives to
Yes,
go up 10-6.
having Nico Collins back is
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
I didn't realize how much of who he was until this season.
But yeah, they got a lot of defensive help. That's for sure. A lot of help from the
Hmm.
Chargers offense in general, like from
Well, Derek Stingley,
from
that was the cornerback who had all those picks. He was like a top 10 first round pick like 2 years ago, and I just never heard anything from him, you know. And I was just like, maybe sometimes they whiff in the top 10,
yeah,
But here he is showing out, so I'm like, okay, I'll be quiet.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, and
Um,
they had 20 14 points on offense.
I think
Or
he
I
was the
mean,
same year as Sauce Gardner,
sorry,
and I think that's why yeah.
they had 3 kicks and then so nine 9 points in field goals and then 2 touchdowns and then on offense and then would that be I guess technically uh 7, 10 or 7, 8, 9 on
Is that the
defense.
only game that you would have made money gambling this weekend? Because all of the other favorites won, right?
I mean, you still make money if the favorites win if you're gambling on the favorites.
Oh.
You just don't make as much. You make
Mm.
as opposed to, you know, you making. I bet $10 on it on the favorite. I probably make, $6 on the underdog. You make 12 or 13.
Hmm.
Like
Man,
by betting
I just
10,
yeah.
like you're betting 10 to get $6 on the favorite because of the
Yeah,
favorite.
that kind of sounds like you're losing $4.
No, you're getting paid out
Hey, you know what?
16.
This is bad for the potential sponsors, so let's settle down.
No, you bet 10 and then you get paid out 16 if you win.
Oh, you get paid out 16. I thought you get paid
Yeah.
out 6. I
No,
was
no,
like,
no.
that.
You're betting 10 to win 16, or like for the underdog, you'd be betting 10 to win like 22 or 23,
Oh, okay.
whatever the
It's
odds
just you
are.
just don't win as much. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah. You're
I think
betting
it would be.
you're betting more than you're winning for the underdog or for the favorite. You're betting less than you're winning for the underdog, or you're betting.
Do you know how much
Winning.
money our casino would make if we did it my way?
Dude, if we did it either of our way, we'd make no money.
What? No. They'd still come.
They still.
Um, but Texans, Chargers, it's the upset of the weekend. I think Texans played really well, but I think at the end of the day, we're all going to look back at this and just say the Chargers chargered it. We'll see how
Yeah.
they do next year. Um, I don't know what Chargers offensive plan, offseason plans are. I don't know what they're looking at. I can tell you right now, they need to drop Quentin Johnston. I was a Quentin Johnston truther last year,
Yeah,
and
not
I even
anymore.
was a little bit again this year. They need to do something about him. 5 targets, 0 catches in a playoff game. That was a first round pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Texans are moving on to play the Chiefs.
Yeah.
We feel like now's a good time to talk about this. What do you think? What do you think? How do you think this game's going to go, Quinn?
I mean, honestly, I think we're gonna roll them. I think I don't know. We're healthy. We're rested. Um,
Healthy. Rasheed's back?
no, but I mean, I don't want to say replaced, but we got D Hop now, so
Replaced.
um,
Oh, D Hop and Hollywood are both going to be free agents this offseason. I
yeah.
didn't realize that Hollywood's was only 1 year.
Mhm.
I knew D Hop's was. Well, I thought he still had maybe another year because they just absorbed the Titans contract, right?
I'm not sure exactly on his. Yeah.
Man,
Mhm. Actually, yeah, because he was on a
who do you think?
two-year, so I think he was on a two-year with last with the Titans. I think.
Do you think he's going to be a Hall of Famer?
D Hop,
Yeah,
not if we don't win.
he's going to need a ring or something.
Yeah, if
Mike Evans, he's a walking Hall of Famer in the league right now.
yeah, absolutely, yeah, he is. So is
First
Justin
ballot.
Jefferson. So is Jamar Chase.
Well, I think
Um,
if Justin Jefferson, I think if either of those two hung it up right now, maybe not.
I don't
You
know.
know?
Jamar Chase is the youngest to ever win the Triple Crown, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And, I mean, and he's
Um,
done it. I mean, Jamar's had a. I mean, I don't know his stats off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure he
man,
had consecutive 1,000 yards.
do you think that drafting a wide receiver, you're the start, whatever starting wide receiver that went to school with your starting quarterback, do you think that that's a good strategy? Now that we have the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase connection, we have it down. We've seen it for years now.
I mean, in their case, obviously, yeah. I mean, yeah, Jamar Chase is.
Who were Mahomes' wide receivers at Texas Tech?
Fuck, I don't. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I know, uh, J Johnny Manziel had Mike Evans. I don't know if I think they left at the same time, right? Or did
Yeah, they left at the same time.
yeah, off the top of my head, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not a huge college fan. Yeah.
I just Googled it, and while I don't know if there's only two listed here. The starters, no, that's jersey number. I need to do it. Let's see. His wide receivers in college. God damn it. Oh, this is defense. Because I'm like, so the biggest problem I've seen Chiefs is their wide receivers. They're pretty much fine, but like, why the hell can't they just get whoever his guy, you know? That was the 2016 Texas Tech team. Do you think Patrick Mahomes is a Hall of Famer if he hung it up right now today?
Yes.
Do you think Saquon is a Hall of Famer if he hung it up today?
Uh, if he broke the record, yeah. I think he might have to win a
True.
ring.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, we got it.
Um, Mahomes, some of his
All right.
college receivers. Oh, you got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, most of them don't have Wikipedia articles from this season, so I assume that a lot of them went on to graduate and go live normal human being lives and not be NFL players, which is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
preferred, honestly, because otherwise you're going to have a Wikipedia article about you. And the names that he has that have Wikipedia articles, I recognize Kiki Kuti, Kaute. I never knew how to say his name, but he's an NFL wide receiver. I don't know if he's still playing because this is like 8 years ago. He is a free agent, and the last time he played was the DC Defenders this last year. But he played for the Dolphins the year before that. I'm surprised they never tried to be like, "Hey, Mahomes, here's a guy, you know, that you might be familiar with."
Must not
There's
like
also a
any
guy
of
named
them.
Dylan Cantrell, but he was a tight end. Tony Brown. Yep. But they also have shorter careers than quarterbacks. Eight
Yeah.
years is a long time in wide receiver years.
Yeah. And he came into the league with Tyreek, so like by the time that Tyreek left, it's like most of those guys are probably
Yeah,
they already
they had
already
their time.
know at
That's
that
right.
point that they already know at that point that they're not really up to, like NFL wide receiver
Hmm.
standards.
Most of those guys I remember being sleeper guys that you would get like deep in the league, and you've been reading way too much like sleeper picks, and now you're
Smoking too
just
much.
yeah. Uh, man, dang old Patrick Mahomes, man, that guy. God.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, all
uh,
right. Let's
oh,
see.
look at his record. Look at all these L's. Wow, he lost for 7 games. He lost to Oklahoma State.
Was that the oh no, there was the OU Texas Tech game with Baker and him. That was like the high
Yeah,
scoring game.
that has its own Wikipedia article. 59-66. I would love to go back and watch that.
I did.
Uh,
I
so
watched
my
it. I watched it when Pat got when we drafted him. That's what I start. Like I started watching his college stuff. Like I honestly, I'll I did not know who he was when we drafted him. I'm
I
not a
had no clue who he
person.
was.
I'm not a person that um I pays attention to college that much. But like as soon as we drafted him, I started looking at his college interview or his college highlights, and I watched the Texas Tech OU game, and I remember people talking about it at the time. You know,
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I just never really like I was like, oh OU cool, everyone I knew cared, but I never really cared for college football. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I went back and watched that stuff, and that's when I started I was like screaming that he was gonna be the MVP as soon as we started him. And I hate
Man.
that. I hate that all these stats are like starting, and he started that one game. So it's like the first 3 years you have to include Mahomes like that entire year because he played one game.
He
Uh,
played a game, yeah.
yeah, I
Like
hate
I
those.
forget he played that game. I always just think he sat out the whole season essentially, you know?
He did. He played.
Um,
He played in preseason slightly, and then sat out uh, the whole season, and
yeah,
played the
man.
Denver game, and and made some crazy throws, and everyone's like, "Holy shit!" Like
Who is this guy?
yeah. And then here comes Alex Smith to lose the next game.
Luckily, Tom Brady was still around, so people weren't like, "Oh, this is ushering in a new era of quarterback." We didn't realize what we were looking at, which is unfortunate. We need to recognize that in the future so we can avoid these Mahomes-like situations. Um, the I remember where I was when he got drafted. I was at I was at a bar out in Midwest City, and I remember texting you and being like, "Oh, they didn't get Deshaun Watson. They traded up to not get Deshaun Watson."
I remember
Yeah,
just being excited that we drafted a quarterback more than anything. And then yeah, once I watched
they
his
traded up.
yeah.
Yeah, that's and they that might have been that was a pretty smart decision.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe we would have been the Texans, except because Deshaun Watson was good before he was molesting all the people.
Do you think do you think Deshaun Watson's career goes differently when he gets a load of the beasts out in Kansas City that are giving massages?
Oh, stop. Stop. And no, I don't think his career goes any differently if he's in Kansas City. I think that in the terms of like he might have won a Super Bowl with us as well. Like, he might have been able to do what Mahomes did in 2019. I think that he seemed talented enough when he was on the Texans. I remember, I guess he did kind of blow it against us in that playoff game. They were up like by 21 points, 28 points.
Um, is there a universe where the Texans win this weekend?
Hell no.
If the Texans were to lose, or if the Texans were to win, um, do does what is the protocol? What happens in Kansas City? Because that's pretty intense. That because you there's a really good case for Kansas City to win this weekend, and it would be wild if they didn't.
Um, if it happens,
Like,
I will
whose
be.
fault is it?
It depends on why we lose. If it's a blowout, then obviously the offense and the defense both, right? If it's um, if we keep them to 19, but we can't, you know, get score more than 14 or 50, if we can't score more than that, then obviously it's the offense's fault. If it's like 29 or 2020 and or where if it's a Bucks Super Bowl, where it's just
Hmm.
like Patrick Mahomes playing his heart out, but no one can catch the ball and the offensive line is just letting him down the whole time, then it's the offensive line's fault.
Okay.
It just
So
depends on
you're willing to shift blame.
yeah to whoever. I mean, it's on a game to gonna be the offense's fault if we're gonna lose, like with how the
Yeah.
season's been going. I don't think that our defense is gonna do any worse than it has the whole season. I think that we're healthy. They look good. I think, Spagnuolo's a good defensive coordinator. He's gonna be dialed up for the Texans. I think.
I
So
want I want Kelce to go out on a good note.
me
It
too.
doesn't have to be the best note, but he could get to the Super Bowl and lose and
I
not be
think
comfortable with that.
I,
Even the AFC Championship, not making it past that, I would still be like, that's a pretty good season.
uh,
Still,
as a
you know.
Chiefs fan, that's how I feel. If we make it to the AFC Championship, and as long as it's not a blowout, like if we play the Bills or the Ravens and they beat us by like 7 or anywhere like I take 10 if it's like a last minute field goal that they get sort of thing. But like if it's a one possession to close two possession game, I'd be I'd be okay with it. But if we get like blown out, like 35-7, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm pissed.
The, what the fuck, guys? What happened?
Yeah, just because like that's
Uh,
not fun football to watch. Like I mean, I don't,
yeah.
like I don't mind losing, but like I would at least like to be entertained while they lose because we've won the
Hmm.
last two Super Bowls, making it to the AFC Championship again, and like keeping that streak going, hosting it, like it's cool, So
Um, yeah, I think that that's a pretty good mindset to be in.
yeah,
Uh, I I would I would like for I mean, I'm kind of rooting for the Texans, you know, but at the same time, the Eagles Chiefs broship exists. I want Andy
thank
Reid
you.
to do well, you
Yes.
know. So I'm just like I want a rematch. That's what I want. My preferred Super Bowl is an Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl with the Eagles winning. But I think the best Super Bowl would be a Bills Lions Super Bowl. I think that'd be the most entertaining. It would be two teams who
I
really,
I
really, really want to win.
I agree with you. I think like most entertaining would be Chiefs Lions. Um, but that's just, for me, because
Yeah,
the Lions are
they're
kind of
fun to watch.
and they're the team this year. Kansas City's kind of the AFC team. Is they're not as explosive obviously as the Lions, but they've just found a way to get it done against everybody but the Bills, right? Like
You just really hope that Dan Campbell's gonna blow it on the big stage.
Yeah, that's against like I want him. I was watching, like Lions trick plays. I want him to like try a trick play on like 4th and 7 from his own like 6 on against the Chiefs and like just get smoked.
Yeah,
Like so bad, so bad. But also like I just, I think that is for the Lions organization like as far as they're gonna get in the next like that they have the grace and the dignity and they get the honor of losing to the three-peat season to for being in the three-peat season Super Bowl. That's like big. They're
hmm,
still in history, they're still part of history, so good for them. They love to I'm sure they'll love to hear that for the next however many years. Whatever
yeah,
team loses to the Chiefs is going to hate it. All the fans are going to hate it.
yes.
Oh
I
man.
don't think. Yeah, I think this. I think the Chiefs three-peat does have a certain level of inevitability to it that I am not comfortable with. Um, but it's just it's just weird shit all season. You know, it's just been weird. They've been pulling out wins that I wouldn't say I yeah, they kind of don't deserve them, a little bit, but
Okay, the only win I would say I don't even know. I wouldn't say wasn't deserved. Like, okay, the Ravens win wasn't deserved. Like, okay, that's debatable because they didn't score. Regardless,
well, wasn't there an issue about the Raiders game?
the Raiders game was the weird snap like of him snapping and coming into him. That was like also not guaranteed to score. They just fumbled it, and once we got the possession, the game was once we got possession of the ball, the game was over. The Broncos were in a position to score or to kick the game-winning field goal. And they could have, but obviously that was not. I also think that was well deserved because that was obviously prepared for. That's the same guy
It could be
tapping
argued that
to.
was just really good special teams,
They,
you know?
I think it was absolutely. I think that was just really good special teams. Um, I don't know like I think that yes the games were close and obviously they um, had some really close wins. It's the lowest point differential of like any 15 win team in history.
Hmm.
And obviously the 31 to or 38-0 skews that a little bit, but um, I don't know. I think most of them are deserved. I don't think any of them aren't like deserved. Just
I
me.
think um, the refs gave them 7 of those wins.
7, damn.
And, okay, 8. 8
8,
of those wins.
damn.
And the others was spooky magic,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Um, I
I
don't
said
think.
I'll die on
I
the
think the
hill.
Chiefs are most likely gonna win this weekend. Sorry, what?
Oh, I was gonna say I die on the hill that the Chiefs just take advantage of bad calls more than other teams do. The refs are just awful. Like I don't think they're not helping the Chiefs more than anything. Man, that shit with Josh Allen, where the refs walking up to him to apologize. Anyways,
He wasn't apologizing. He was explaining
he was apologizing for
why he
missing the
couldn't give
call.
him a flag, right?
Yeah, it's why he missed the call.
Mm, I
If
don't
that had
know.
been if that had been Mahomes, man, totally
That would
different.
mean that Mahomes didn't have the number 1 seed. I'm fine with that alternate universe.
No, I'm just saying in general, like if that happened to
Yeah.
Mahomes, where the
If a
if the
ref went
ref
over to the sidelines in
and
the
was
middle
seen
of
do
his
it and was
job,
seen like with his hand on his chest, like my bad, like I'm sure he was. I don't know. I'm
talking
not a
to
lip
him,
reader. I'm not a lip reader, but maybe he wasn't saying my
how would
bad. But when you're
how
putting
would
your
you feel if a ref missed a call and then after the offense, they have to punt, 3 and out or whatever. It's seen on the sideline that same ref going over to Patrick Mahomes, who's sitting on a bench, and he is on his hands and knees, and he is crying.
I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm glad the check went through because that's my team. That's
He's pleading. He
yeah,
has his hands clasped together,
yeah.
saying, "Please, Pat,
And
please
then Pat gives
forgive
him a
me."
big thumbs down, and then like someone like Creed Humphrey comes over with the sword and like unsheathes just giant this bastard sword and just like lops his head off, and they bring the cart out, load him up, bring out the new ref. It's
and
a
then
Chiefs
and
fan
then
from the
everybody cheers.
audience.
Everybody's cheering. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mahomes pulls the head up. He's holding it up, and he's like,
yeah,
"Is this what you want? Are you entertained?"
yeah.
Uh,
And they
man,
point to they point to to who's that in the audience? Oh my God, it's the Chiefaholic. And then
this the Chiefs all.
he's wearing a ref uniform. The music
He
plays. He
comes in
jumps
on a zip line.
over. Yeah, he jumps
He's
on a
gonna
zip
come in.
line. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a ref uniform on, and they just continue the game, and it's just completely biased towards the Chiefs for the entire Super Bowl.
Oh, and he's got a bag of money,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's just
yeah, yeah,
raining.
yeah,
Yep.
yep.
Um, man, that's some pretty American shit. If only, man, if so, we got rid of sacrificing people like a long time ago, but like, if like the Aztecs were that hype, I mean,
Would we have been
I
okay
get
with
it.
it? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, man,
yeah,
that's a lot of crazy stuff that just happened
yeah,
all at
yeah.
once,
Make more respect. Why didn't you guys have some sort of sports ball system?
Yeah, why didn't you get? Oh wait, they did. Um, so on to the next game. What happened? What was the next game that day?
Ravens
Uh,
Steelers.
Ravens
The
Steelers.
game was kind of
This was
boring,
this
honestly. Yeah,
this yeah. I'm disappointed that I tried to watch this game because this
yeah,
one was kind of a. It was just the Ravens doing really well, and I'm kind of used to seeing that, and Derrick Henry running for like 100 something yards and 2 touchdowns, and Lamar just doing Lamar stuff, making a case for being MVP, you
yeah,
know. Um, and the Steelers not doing well.
yeah,
It sounds like this is pretty common in Steeler world, is making it to the playoffs and just sort of losing, and then that's just sort of it,
yeah.
you know. What do you think is going to happen to Mike Tomlin now that this has happened for the dozenth time in a row?
Oh, well, I don't know. I think it's pretty encouraging for the organization, to make it to the wild card. You know, psych. I don't know what you do with them. They seem to be pretty the team that's like, okay, we finished, we made it to the playoffs, we're okay with it. I mean, he's been doing it for how long? I mean, it's kind of his deal. So I don't know.
Mm.
I think that they just probably try and get a quarterback late in the first or the second and build him up.
You don't think that they try and work it with Justin Fields?
Maybe. I mean, they weren't
Maybe.
willing to keep him in over Russell Wilson. I guess Russell Wilson did all right this year, though. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that they were just wanting someone with more experience in that situation. I
yeah,
didn't think Justin Fields was going to play at all.
yeah.
But I feel like in Steelers camp, in the Steelers world, it's a culture thing. Because, I mean, their wide receivers, for example, you know, have been kind of, one would describe them as a little arrogant and egotistical over the last decade, you know, from Antonio Brown to Juju Smith-Schuster, and then Deontay Johnson got released today
Mhm.
because he didn't like how he was used on the offense again for the third time this season. And now they have George Pickens who will throw down with any DB that happens to be looking at him or around him.
Yep.
Uh, I feel like in the Steelers, it's a culture thing, and I just feel like Tomlin feels complacent. Just like he's just like, yeah, I always have a really good defense. What do you want from me? You know?
Yeah.
And then he
Yeah.
gets like James Harrison's and TJ Watts, and it's just like, yeah, he's got a hell of a defense.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure what their Yeah, what the problem is with the Steelers.
Yeah.
Kind of the offense just seemed dull, kind of dead in the first half. Couldn't get anything going. Um, then second half, I remember they had it looked like they had a chance to get within one score a couple times and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
To even make it interesting or to get it. Actually, I don't even know if they had a chance to get it within one score. They had a chance early to get it within. I think it was to get it within two early. Let me see. I'm
I
curious.
think it was, what was the final score
Touchdown,
for that
touchdown. Oh no, yeah, they had a chance to
game?
get within one score twice. Couldn't do it. If they could have got it within one score,
Yeah, I
then they could
remember.
have onside kicked it to try it to win it.
Mhm.
Yeah, they got to 3rd and 8. He got sacked. Short dump pass. Yeah, I mean, got one first down, then just incomplete pass, dump pass for 2 yards, and sacked for -8. Punted it. Another 7 plays. And then turn it over on down, down
I
14,
they
15.
Yeah. Well, they don't have the offensive line that they once had. Now that the Pounceys are gone and Villanueva's gone, and they just don't have the guys anymore
I just don't think Russ is the
to
guy.
keep. I don't think Russ is the guy either. I think he's past his prime. I think that case could have been made in Denver, but then he started doing okay this year, and it was like, all right, maybe he's not quite done yet. You know,
I don't,
uh,
I think he's kind of just like in the Alex Smith era now, where it's just like, yeah, he's gonna put up decent stats, but like when the time comes, like he's not just, like you can't. And granted, he was cheap this year, so I mean it's good for them. I don't think he's gonna be as cheap if he wants to play again, you know.
yeah.
Like I don't know, I don't think he'll like, who knows? I'm sure he'll want to play somewhere, but and he had a good enough year to probably get another job if he doesn't stay with those Steelers. So
So does he go to Cleveland?
yeah, I don't know, because
Good, good.
this is his last year on that contract with Denver, right? I don't know.
This next one, I think 2026 is the last one.
Oh,
It might be 2020. It might be this upcoming season. Yeah.
I know they're just and I don't know what they did to get with the Steelers. I know they're eating like a bunch of dead cap this year. I don't know his trade details enough to know if he's going into next year or not.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. I don't care about
I
Russell
just know
Wilson
that
enough.
Denver is so lucky that they hit on a quarterback. Because if
Another
Bo Nix
team,
sucks, they'd be screwed.
yeah, that's cool that they know that they hit on that quarterback, but Probably would have been better off with the Bengals making it, you know, and
If if
getting the better
if
draft pick. But we'll see how
if
the draft shakes
Broncos
out. You know, you never know. The draft could shake out crazy, and they get a better pick.
if the Chiefs' second teamers beat the Broncos and the Bengals get in, and the first thing they do is eliminate the Bills, what have you then?
Let's go, fucking bring it.
Oh,
I
that'd
mean,
be a crazy. That'd be
what
a crazy. That'd be a crazy weekend.
what else can it be? You know.
But yeah. Um. Well. The Ravens are moving on. They're looking pretty prime.
Yep.
It looks like their strategy is just keeping the ball on the ground and just draining the clock.
Yep.
And they have the weapons to do so. They have Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is putting up MVP numbers. Uh, some people online have said that it's because of Derrick Henry,
It
and
doesn't.
that
He's getting MVP. It doesn't matter.
is it just set in stone now?
Yeah, it's been like a handful of times. I just don't think that they're gonna get. I don't think obviously. Do you think that voters let playoffs influence them? Because if they do, Josh Allen had a better game than Lamar Jackson.
I think it's going to come down to this weekend, and whoever has the better performance is going to get MVP because the voters haven't voted on it yet, and at least I don't think they'd have. I think that's what that week before the Super Bowl is kind of getting all the votes in and stuff. Um, in addition to being media week and stuff like that. But if whoever's going to win that game has the better performance is most likely coming out with MVP because the voters are going to be really biased with recency bias. You know, they're not even thinking about Joe Burrow anymore. You know, they're like these are the two obvious MVP candidates, and unless Saquon has a 350-yard game, I just don't see anybody else sneaking into contention.
It's never. It's not. It's not gonna be Saquon. As soon as he didn't go for the record, it's not gonna be. It was never gonna be Saquon.
Man, honestly, just settle down, Quentin. Everything's gonna be okay. It might. It could be. It could be. You know.
Nope.
Whatever. Um, and then the last AFC game was the
Broncos,
Bills
Bills.
Broncos game, which that wasn't a that was a blowout.
Yeah, it was a blowout. It was 31-7.
Yeah.
Bill
Um,
Broncos came out and scored on the opening drive. 5 plays,
yes, they did.
70 yards. Um, looks like I think it was. I like I said, I had my back turned to this game because I was at a family lunch. Yeah, it was on. Yeah, just a 2nd and 4, 43-yard pass, and then
Uh,
did absolutely jack shit after that. Missed a,
yes,
missed a,
they allowed
missed a field
30
goal,
something points.
missed a field goal, punts, and 3 and out, 9-play punt, missed field goal, 3 and out, 3 and out, turnover on downs, 4 and out. I guess you could call it turnover on downs.
Another
Just
turnover and downs.
yeah, after 4 plays.
That is not great. Um, I just kind of felt like they would have a little bit of that underdog spirit, and I feel like that was going to be the upset of the weekend, and not the Texans one.
Buffalo had one of the worst defenses coming into this game. I'm pretty sure. The over under on the game was 48.5.
Wow. But the Broncos have a really good defense.
Yeah, the Broncos had one of the best defenses. The Buffalo Bills had one of the worst. I'm pretty sure coming in for passing at least. I think
Mm.
there's like no reason they should have done that bad as they did. I mean, just I guess the Bills defense showed up. I'm so excited to see because I'm just I love playoff football. I'm ready for this next weekend. Honestly, the AFC games that I saw, the two I didn't enjoy. I mean, the Chargers game was fun to watch because it was fun to watch the Chargers and there's some fun football. Um, this game was just sad.
Which one? The Ravens game?
No, the Bills Broncos. Oh, the Ravens
Both.
Pittsburgh game was kind of boring, you know.
I'll say that one was boring.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy watching that one. Just because it was just like, watching the Ravens just after the first couple touchdowns and seeing that the Steelers weren't going to be putting up much of a fight, you're kind
Yeah.
of just like, oh, okay. Well, this is the reason I don't like college ball, is because there's going to be one team really beating the shit out of another one. And I'm like, I want to see them compete. You
Yeah.
know?
I want to be entertaining. That game was entertaining. This game, I didn't get to watch a lot of it. I got to watch the second half, and by then it was just like, okay, Denver's just not doing anything. This is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lost
So.
to those guys. Your team lost to those guys 38-0.
Yeah. Shut up.
That's rough.
Yeah,
It'd be
imagine.
me.
Yeah, I mean, and going into the playoffs too, like talk about momentum. Sheesh.
We're talking about momentum.
Ugh.
Oh man.
But yeah, so that game was kind of boring. Yeah, Josh Allen, 20 for 26, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Cook put up 120 yards and a touchdown on 23 carries. So yeah,
Who
Bo
do
Nix
you
was
have?
Bo Nix
Oh,
was the Denver's leading rusher, 4 carries for 43 yards.
they're getting a running back next year. They're
Oh
going to
my
trade up for
goodness.
that GT guy.
Yeah, I do agree with you that it's nice. I think that they would have been better off losing to the Chiefs, honestly, because just to get
I
the
think you just feel like you would rather have that just for the feeling of knocking out. You also didn't you want like to play both of the divisional rivals on the way to the Super Bowl?
that would have been fun. But no, I just think for them as a team, I just think getting the higher draft pick to be able to trade up and get someone like they should trade up and get Gianti
Yeah.
or have you I don't know if
What?
that's how you
Yeah.
pronounce his name, but
I have no idea how to say that name. I've only read it. I haven't
yeah.
heard. I mean, I've heard announcers say it, but I can't. I would have to hear it again to be like, oh.
Yeah, I
But
can't remember. But yeah, I would go get him. Like if I mean, but who knows where you have to go get him, cuz
yeah,
I know everyone's saying Travis Hunter is going to go pretty quick and Shador Sanders is going to go pretty quick and then
yeah.
I just feel like he has to go pretty quick too. Gianti does. But apparently like in the
I've read
top,
mock drafts.
yeah, it's like is it like where there's a guard that's like number 1 in the country, right?
hmm There's an offense. Yeah, yeah. Um, I watched or I've read some mock drafts, and it has Cam Ward going to number one to the Titans, while sometimes it's been Shador, but I don't think Dion would allow that. And then usually the second pick is the Browns, and that's usually Travis Hunter. And the third pick is usually whoever didn't go number one between Cam Ward and Shador. I've seen Gianti go top 5 in some of these mocks. I've also seen him drop all the way to like number 18 because he's still a running back. He is I wouldn't say, I don't know if he's a generational talent because apparently he didn't show up in the playoffs. Um, so I don't know if his unique running style is worth jeopardizing a first round draft pick on.
Yeah, they have the Ashton Gianti. I don't know, yeah, if that's how you pronounce it, but the running back going at 10th to the Bears right now. So I definitely
Mm.
think that the Broncos could move up ahead of them and get him from someone like Arizona. They have mocked as getting a wide receiver. I mean,
Yeah, that makes sense because the one thing they would need right now is a wide receiver.
oh no, they're saying never mind. He's from Arizona. I'm high. That's the
Oh, okay.
Panthers.
Um, oh, yeah, that's the big name wide receiver this year is that guy with the crazy name
Yeah,
from Arizona. He's apparently real big, real fast, and he's got
yeah,
hands, so he's going somewhere in the top. Uh, I can see the Panthers going for him
bam.
because right now their best wide receiver is still Adam Thielen.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's from
Um,
Arizona though, so is it
yeah.
if it's ASU, aren't they a party school? Uh-oh.
Oh, that's where Gronk came from. Who do you think wins between the Bills and the Ravens?
I I have to say I gotta take the Ravens. Honestly, it's hard
Is
to.
this is this harder to call than the Chiefs Texans game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think honestly, it could. I think that the Ravens are the best probably odds to come out of the AFC right now. Um, I think I'm sure just on most people's, uh, not mine obviously. I think the Chiefs still beat the Ravens, but I think probably like out of the best, if you asked majority of people what the best AFC team left out of the four, most people would say the Ravens.
Hmm.
Um, I think. I just with Derrick Henry still do. I mean, Derrick Henry put up 180 yards. Uh, Lamar put up another like 80 yards, I think.
Man, that's that
No,
is going to be a game.
yeah,
Um,
I think it's gonna
I
be
I
close,
I'm
but
gonna give it to the Ravens. But I have a feeling that they're the favorite to win. And I got a soft spot for the underdog.
yeah, I think that the Bills deserve to win more than the Ravens. I hope that they do win. I like the Bills more than the Ravens. I don't
Do you
want.
think you have a better chance to beat the Bills than the Ravens?
Ooh, I don't think so, honestly.
Do any of these three teams have you worried?
The Ravens, the Ravens and the Bills, I think both, like they're both good teams. Obviously, the Bills beat us. Obviously, I think oh, we beat the Bills or we lose to the Bills in the regular season, we beat them in the postseason has been like a pattern. But like, I don't know. I don't think, I still think like, Josh Allen is good and they can all like he's like the type. I think he's just. I think Lamar Jackson is good too, but we have a history of being able to shut down. Um, him, and if we can shut down him, it'll be interesting. I don't know if they weren't utilizing Derrick Henry the same way that they were at the beginning of the year, so it'll be interesting to see if we would be able to, you know, I think we just have good coaching, so I think we could handle either of them, but I don't know which one I'd be more scared of. Like, I mean, Cook's not a bad running back either.
He's not Derrick Henry though.
No, he's not Derrick Henry.
I mean,
And
of the three running backs, Joe Mixon, James Cook, and Derrick Henry. I mean,
yeah. I think
I
with
think
the way
he's
Lamar
right in the middle.
Jackson's passing has gotten this year, I think I'm more worried about the Ravens.
Yeah.
And this is the year to. This is funny, because of they've won two Super Bowls and they were 12 years apart. So now we're 12.
Oh,
Now we're 12 years apart from their last Super Bowl. So it'll be this is either going to establish the pattern or nix the pattern of them winning Super Bowls every 12 years.
I remember that the Giants were supposed to do that in 2015 because they won in 2007 and 2011, right? So it was like every 4 years Eli turns on
Yeah.
or something. And I remember memes about that. That was back when I was first getting back into football, and then that didn't happen. Um, yeah, so I I kind of think the Ravens are gonna. They kind of got fate on their side now, you know, and I do think that the Ravens could beat the Chiefs and go to the Super Bowl. I have seen the Ravens in the Super Bowl twice in my life, and I'm okay with it, I guess. I didn't realize it's been 12 years since the blackout.
Yeah, it doesn't
That
matter
doesn't.
though. It's gonna be Josh Allen's gonna be uh is gonna win, and then it's gonna be Josh Allen failing to still he with power even powered by Haley by his own pop star he can't beat the power of Taylor Swift and the Chiefs. and he can't
Watch.
defeat his postseason white whale Patrick Mahomes. The only person that's is he's lost. They've lost to the Bengals too, I think, right? Or has
The
he only?
Bills? Yeah.
Yeah, have they only lost to the Chiefs?
And
Uh,
Bengals, I think.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, Bills postseason.
Um, the the oh God, I forgot what I was gonna say. God damn.
When did Josh Allen come in? 2018, right? So
Yes.
2019 lost to the Texans, then lost to the Chiefs, lost to the Chiefs, lost to the Bengals, lost to the Chiefs. So the
Hmm.
Texans. So okay, yeah, he lost to Deshaun Watson, and then Mahomes, Mahomes, Burrow, Mahomes. Hmm.
Watch him go into overtime with the Ravens and lose.
Oh man, and just still can't break that curse.
You know, and then the Ravens go on to beat Mahomes at home,
That's not gonna happen.
living Josh Allen's dream right in front of him.
It's not gonna happen.
Lamar gets MVP.
It's not gonna happen. What's gonna happen is whoever wins that game is gonna come to Arrowhead, and they're gonna go. The loser of the game is gonna just watch and just be like, ah, well, they couldn't do it either. Damn. And they're just gonna go,
Hmm.
I could have beat Mahomes, but they really couldn't. They're like, I could have beat him. Man, if we would have just made it past the Ravens, or man, if we would have just made it past the Bills, I could have beat the
Mm.
Chiefs. I could have beat that team because it's gonna look close, like it always does. But it's just gonna always come down to the last second. Mahomes is gonna either win it, he'll drive it down, or our defense will get a turnover, or they'll somehow like get in their own head and throw a pick in the end zone. It's just
It's gonna be that bullshit again.
it's just how it happens, you know. We're just
It's good ball. It's
yeah.
good for the
It's
sport,
good
and it's
TV.
goddamn frustrating.
It's Mahomes. It's what he said it. He's just like I just make good TV. It doesn't
I
matter
just
what it
make good
is. Yeah, I
TV.
just make good TV. I think that's what I
Who's
think
your
that's.
insurer? Who do you go? Who insures your house?
I'm not why.
I'm just curious. Is it
I have
State
great
Farm?
I have great fire protection.
Do you have Mahomes or Mahado?
Mahomes or Mahomes? No, I don't. I don't have Mahomes or Mahomes.
Hmm. Um, I I don't think the Texans are going to win, but I think whoever wins between the Bills and the Ravens are going to be playing their damnedest against the Chiefs. And honestly, I could see a universe where either of them, the Ravens or the Bills, whoever comes out this weekend, beats the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. But I think it's just as evenly split between who's going to win that game as it is this weekend between who's going to win between the Bills and the Ravens. I think that can go either way, and same thing for the AFC Championship. I think the only game that really is kind of like a gimme is the Chiefs Texans game.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs they have 2 weeks off. A lot of their guys are getting healthy. They're kind of getting back into form. They're about to start their regular season. So
If the Texans make it through the Chiefs somehow, do you still think that they're a gimme game in the AFC Championship if the for the Bills or the Ravens?
no, I think they will have to pretty much use their entire arsenal to get past the Chiefs. And whenever they get to the Ravens or Bills, they're going to be exhausted. They're going to be tired, but they could still be running on that super underdog energy, you know. I would be fine with a Texans Super Bowl, a Texans Lions,
Gross.
because both of
Gross.
those teams, neither of them have ever won it, so give it to them.
Okay, well we'll
Huh?
move on to let's move on to the NFC so we can hear how you feel about the rest of this. See, so
Okay.
let's go to what you think is the most interesting game. Eagles Packers.
Yes. I actually think the Washington Tampa Bay game was more interesting, but I actually missed most of it. Um, I was busy doing stuff. I have a life. I was really wanting to watch that one too. I didn't realize. I was just like, God, what was I doing?
Yeah, it was a good game.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I caught a lot of the middle of it. I had it on as background noise because I was
Mm,
working on my computer,
mm,
and I didn't realize it was going to be as good of a game as it was.
yeah.
I didn't realize it came down to a final field goal. I wasn't even in the room when that happened because I remember looking at the clock and being like, "Oh, we're past the 2 minutes. I should probably go grab something to eat real quick." And then, like, whenever I came back, I saw that you had texted me, being like, "Oh, this is what happened," and I was like, "Ah, what?" Uh, but we can start with the Eagles game. Um, uh, I was really hoping the Eagles were going to win. We did. Jake Elliott did really, really well. Um, and but you didn't see a whole lot of AJ Brown.
No,
You
yeah,
know,
he was reading.
you didn't see a lot of, you didn't see him passing a whole lot. You don't see Jalen Hurts passing that much. Now he is coming off of a concussion that took him a couple weeks to get over.
He had
You
21
know,
attempts,
so
which was basically what most of the quarterbacks had this weekend, close to what most quarterbacks had. He just didn't have a lot of completions.
I mean, I don't know if it's scheming or play calling or if AJ just time is catching up to him or something. I mean, um, I don't know if we keep him this offseason,
Who?
especially if we don't make the Super Bowl.
Jalen Hurts?
You know, no, AJ Brown,
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
which is unfortunate, but it does almost feel like it's the end of an era. They've been arguing this season, Jalen and AJ. So um, allegedly, according to the talking heads online. But I don't know. I just feel like Devontae Smith isn't a number one. I don't think he has the size to be a number one. But AJ, a time might be catching up to him, and I'm worried that that's one of the reasons why our passing hasn't been so great this year. Is that our receiving core kind of just isn't that good, you
Hmm,
know.
don't say that.
Um, However, none of that really matters because we have Saquon
And you're winning games, yeah.
and we're winning games.
Yeah.
So as long as we just Jalen Hurts can turn around and give the ball to Saquon, and Saquon just sort of scores, you know. You know what my favorite part is that everybody was worried about Saquon losing touchdowns because of the tush push, and 2,000 yards.
Yeah, I don't think he cares. Yeah, he just wants to win a
I don't
Super.
think.
He just wants to win a Super Bowl.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why. That's
now he
why.
just wants to.
Yeah, should have came to the
That's a.
Chiefs. Oh, could you imagine?
Oh God, I'm.
Oh my God.
If
Anyways,
I just, yeah,
sorry, I just had
no,
a
we don't
second
even
to
have
think
to
about
imagine a
that.
scenario where the Chiefs got a competent running back. Um,
Hey.
I just don't think. There were times where I liked Edwards Hilaire more than I liked Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah,
You know, but I kind of
Kareem's been
like,
serviceable too. Well, we're probably gonna draft another one this year,
yeah.
but
But I like Kareem Hunt more than the two of them. Maybe not this year's Kareem Hunt, but prime Kareem Hunt,
Pacheco
yeah.
got injured so early. But I don't know. I think Pacheco's still fine, but I think they'll probably draft since they drafted him in the seventh round. They'll probably draft another running back this year too.
Yeah.
Um, to try out. Will probably be the same type of thing, like late round. But I don't know. Yeah, I
And you're
thought
not
I
going to
thought
see
that
much of him until later in the
this
year.
this game was fun to watch. I thought
Yep.
that Dallas Goddard, man, that triple stiff arm.
Had that crazy stiff arms. Yeah, that was good. That was fun to see.
Sheesh, yeah, yeah. He had a
Saquon, huge, almost had, he could have had a career night. Maybe not a career night, but he could have had, broke off a really solid one right there at the end. But he did the
yeah.
respectable thing. And he said, no, I will end your suffering and I will just down
Yeah.
it. I messaged you and I said, that's very respectable. You don't see anybody on the Chiefs doing that. Uh, which is funny because didn't he do that a couple times for the Chiefs?
Yeah, we had a couple people. I don't off the top of my head I can't remember
I
all
think
the
Damian
people.
Williams too.
Yeah, I can't remember all who's church mode, but yeah, I remember we've church mode in the playoff and in the playoffs, and that was Damian Williams.
What is that called? Church mode?
Yeah, I think that's what they called it was church mode. I don't know why, but that's what I just remember that's keyed into my brain for some reason from watching like the one of the I think it was the 2019 year um that it came up, and yeah, it was like they were like church mode, church mode, church mode. I think
It
that was
says here, I Googled it, it says here it's related to diatonic modes. Are the 8 church modes or Gregorian modes in which authentic and plagal forms of scales are distinguished by ambitious and yeah, this doesn't sound like the right thing.
church mode is a term that allows the team to win by running out the clock. Um, oh, that was in the
Oh,
Eagles.
it's specifically a Chiefs thing.
Yeah, it was Eagles Chiefs.
The
Yeah,
Chiefs call it church mode.
because it begins and ends with a kneel down. That's why they call it church mode. But yeah, it came up from the
There's a lot of,
Eagles Super Bowl.
I see that, I'm looking at that right now.
Yeah. But yeah, I think
I didn't know if that. I don't think that's ever really had a name before. Do you think that that's the Chiefs trying to force a meme?
I don't know. That's just what they call it. That's just the call that's what they when they're at the line, when they come up to the line to come up to the huddle, that's like the huddle call for it. So I mean they could
Oh, so they're like, hey, if you break off on this one, church mode,
exactly yeah,
you
like he
know?
just comes up to the line, he's like, "Hey, like he comes up to the huddle, he's like church mode, or he's like he calls out the play and then he's just like church mode, church mode, church mode. And then they go
Imagine
up to the line.
overhearing that on the defense. You hear Mahomes say church mode on you. You're just like, man,
Yeah.
we can do this.
They're calling the faith of God. No. But yeah, I think it was a fun game to watch though. As even though the Green Bay didn't really do too much. That was kind of like the whole time I
Now,
was just like, come on, do something. A lot of interceptions.
Quinion got his first interception. That
Yeah,
was cool.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that. Um,
Uh, d
but yeah, there's
Josh Jacobs did run over Cooper DeJean.
yes,
That
Josh Jacobs had a huge run. I
yeah,
got worried. That was whenever I started getting worried because the score was still relatively close.
yeah. The score was close. Yeah,
Um,
it wasn't. It went into the half
yeah,
down within down 10. They were down 10, but they were still kind of like poking with a stick, like come on.
yeah.
But
Um, that Josh Jacobs run, I love. I messaged you. I told you this. I love those power running backs. I'm not saying I'm mad at Saquon. I'm very happy with the Saquon signing, but I do love power backs like Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry more. I
yeah,
just think they're more fun to watch. Watching someone like get juked out or one cut and take off on this huge lane, that's great. But I like watching dudes just get pummeled, man. I like watching guys like try to do it and then just get smacked down. Who didn't Derrick Henry assault someone this weekend?
he does it every weekend, but I'm sure he did. Oh, was it? I think it was Minka
He
Fitzpatrick,
stiff armed the shit out of somebody.
or was that is Fitzpatrick on the Packers now? And that was Saquon. I can't remember. Or is that who
It was
Goddard?
Fitzpatrick, yeah.
Okay.
It was yeah, Minka Fitzpatrick for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Whew. Unfortunate. Yeah, he's got a family.
Yeah. Not anymore. I think
They
I heard that.
broadcasted that.
I heard they went over to Derrick Henry's house. They moved in.
And so you're paying for everything now. And he's like, ah, no.
Them's the
Um,
rules. Yeah. So the Eagles move on. To play the winner of the Monday
all
night
right.
game. Well, to be determined who they play. No, they play the going on to play the Rams.
And let's, yeah, we will be playing the Rams.
But so here for the winner,
it,
you want to talk about the Commanders Bucks game first or the Rams Vikings?
we'll do the Rams Vikings first, so I can do my Eagles predictions, and then we can toss it off to the Lions and shit. Who cares? Um, but
Yeah, so
um,
we both kind of predicted this that the Vikings were gonna come in and lose.
I felt it. I even said something about Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
You know,
he didn't have an
I was,
well, actually, yeah, he did. He had an awful game. On paper,
I was
honestly,
like, this is his first playoff appearance. He's gonna do his Sam Darnold shit.
on paper, 25 for 40, 245 yards, one touchdown, one int. Not, you know, ugh, not the worst day ever, but they just did not do
No,
anything. He statistically not
Herbert
the
had a
worst day
worse
ever.
weekend.
Yeah, but Sam Darnold, man, the whole time I thought that he kind of just looked, I don't know, just lost out there. I don't know, kind of just
He got sacked a bunch, didn't he? Like 6 times or something. He started seeing ghosts again. He's prone to
yeah.
do that.
I think there's a couple times where I thought that he could have taken off and he refused to, and then other times where he just stepped up the wrong way. Um, I mean, man, although they did get away, oh yeah. Speaking of, I don't think, who knows with the game momentum, but we gotta go back and talk about it. I just remembered that the Eagles did not recover that fumble at the beginning of the game.
Oh, I missed that whole part.
Yeah, no,
Uh, in fact, I didn't even realize it was the kickoff. I thought it was the first play of the game.
it
I
was a
had just come and walked into the room when the game started. I was like, oh, sweet, here we go.
it was the
Oh, we have the ball.
very
Yes.
it was very clearly a recovery by the Packers, and I cannot believe that they went like there's no way. It's so crazy that they didn't that didn't get overturned. Like
I
on the field, I understand them getting that call wrong, but not coming down, having the camera crew and the having the camera angle and the announcers talking about it, like how that's not immediately getting down uh, to the refs. Like there's literally the announcers are talking about it. Like that's crazy to me. Like the announcers are sitting here talking about like, oh look at this angle. They must not have this angle. Like why? How?
That happens sometimes,
No, but
you know.
why don't they have
But I
camera why
also
don't they have access to
think,
camera angles that we do? Like that's insane.
uh, it just I think I have a feeling it has something to do with broadcast rights or something.
It's crazy.
Um,
There should be no reason.
I just want to say I have not gone back and looked at that fumble. I can't confirm whether or not you're right because I was scared that you were right. So I was like, you
Oh,
know
you've
what? I'm
avoided
just
it.
gonna let this happen and just move on with my life and call it a win and on to the next thing.
All right, well we can move on to talk about the
There
next
was an
bullshit call.
entire here's the thing, Quentin. Here's the thing, Quentin. There was an entire game after that,
Yes.
and they still lost.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah. Like I said,
just so you
when I
know.
text you, I said I don't think it'll end up mattering, but that still was a bad call. I just
It's
like to
weird to see it from the outside looking in, huh?
No, I like to document them so if you complain about the Chiefs
It's
getting all the right calls at all the times, I'll be like, what about this? What about Matt Stafford on that call against the Vikings where he shoveled past it?
No, the Chiefs aren't gonna. They're not gonna do that at the Super Bowl. They do that. How they do that? Whenever they're at the Super Bowl, they get real dirty and they like fuck with the grass and shit.
I just want you to know it.
Really
That's all.
sneaky stuff.
That's all. I just want you to know that these calls are happening. Like that, like I said, that the Matt Stafford that shovel pass should have been that's intentional grounding.
Hmm.
In any
Um,
sense, that's so crazy that they say that someone was in the area and that he was intending to throw that forward. No. At best,
Yeah.
that's an illegal forward pass. Like I don't know. It's not an illegal forward pass, but
Um, the Rams won. Now I missed this game entirely. I didn't see
oh,
any part of this game.
so yeah, have you seen?
I was not worried about whoever won because I'm confident the Eagles are going to beat them. Um, there's only one game I was worried about this weekend, uh, and we'll get there.
Well, so
The
the Rams Vikings game was pretty sad. Yeah, like I said, Sam Darnold looked pretty lost the
mhm.
entire time. He lost so much money over the last 2 games. It's so crazy. The poor dude like has just maybe $80 million mistake, like or $80 million performance over the last 2 weeks.
Oof. Don't you like how low the stakes are in our lives?
No, not really, because he's still
Oh, do you
like
think you?
he still makes so much money.
Oh, that's true. He is making way more money than us right now as it is. So
Yeah.
you're right. Um, yeah, you're right. You're right. I feel like. Do you think Sam Darnold is a Viking next year?
No, absolutely not.
Where do you think he goes? What team do you think is really hungry for a quarterback, does not have a lot of options, and Darnold is easily going to be the biggest free agency ad this year?
Mm,
I don't think that the Vikings are going to re-sign him either. So where's he wind up? He ain't going to take a year off. He's on a hot
Browns
streak right
maybe.
now. He needs to keep this up, huh?
Browns maybe.
Uh, I really feel like Browns are going to go after Russell Wilson.
I'd take Darnold over Russell Wilson. But
Stefanski's offense likes a running guy, and people for whatever reason still think Russell Wilson can run.
mm,
So
yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know. That's the only place I can honestly think of where he might go. Maybe the Titans, but uh,
I could see Darnold at the Titans, but if they do that, they're not getting a quarterback in the draft. So that's where
yeah,
Travis Hunter goes.
yeah. So well, either way. So Rams Eagles. What you got?
Oh, I have the Eagles on this one. I do see a universe where Matt Stafford and Puka Nakua and Cooper Cup and Kyron Williams all just fucking devastate the Eagles. I 100% could see that happening. I just could see our secondary just being like so many times of watching Puka be wide open or something, and I'm just gonna be like, come on, why? Why now? I do foresee a universe of that happening, but I just feel like Saquon's just gonna run. He's just gonna run. He's gonna run around these guys, and then if he gets hurt, it's Jalen is just gonna be like, all right, well, I guess I'll start running now, and then he'll start running. Every now and then he'll throw the ball to somebody. Be like, oh, you didn't see that coming, did you? And then you just run. And then just keep doing that, dink and dunk until you get to the 1 yard line, and then just sort of push it in.
Fair enough. Just push it in.
You know,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, just that's a just kind of take it, just kind of push it in. Uh, I mean, I think it could go either way. I am rooting for the Eagles, but I could see the Rams winning too.
I
They
think
do have a really good offense, and the Eagles, while their defense has been looking pretty good the last like month or so, it could. I'm used to being an Eagles fan, and then that really solid thing that you're like, this thing's really good. This is a good part of our team, just fucking disappears.
yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, I'm taking the Eagles too. I think the defense. You have no reason other than Cooper DeJean might be scared. But Kyron Williams,
Oh,
uh,
our front seven's going to dominate. We lost N'Kobe Dean, unfortunately, and he
yeah, oh
might not
yeah,
even be
you did,
back to the
yeah,
beginning of next year.
yeah. I forgot about. Yeah, I
Um,
did hear about that.
he's part of our Georgia Bulldog front seven that we got.
Yeah,
But I read that we picked up Morrow, who used to play for us, and right now we have I'm not a fake fan. I know his name. Oren Burks starting in his position. So I think we'll be okay in the front. We still have all those guys up front. We still have
It doesn't
Jalen
matter.
Carter,
You got yeah.
Nolan Smith. We're going to be okay up there. My concern is our secondary. I think Isaiah Rogers can get exposed
Yeah, I think
sometimes,
Cooper
and
DeJean might be
Quinion is
playing
still a
scared
rookie.
after finally getting
You
stiff armed, you know?
know, Cooper DeJean did get his welcome to the NFL moment. Maybe was that it?
I don't know. I don't watch enough
Uh,
Eagles.
he kind of got manhandled by Josh Jacobs on a big long run,
Yeah, I don't know if
but
that's the
it's
first
fine.
time or not.
It's fine. He's fine. That's my Jackie Robinson, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I think I
Uh,
definitely think the Eagles are gonna take it. I think it might be I think it might be a close game, but I think odds are that it's Eagles by at least 2 possessions.
I man, I think it's going to be closer than that. It could be a shootout. Because if we get ahead early, it's just going to be Matt Stafford passing the whole time, and that's what's going to win the game for him. Is if Matty just gets straight up into I'm just throwing the ball. You know,
Yeah.
if either quarterback goes down, that's the team that loses.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, obviously.
Actually, I don't know. I kind of like our backup quarterback. I think Kenny Pickett is pretty decent and can hold down an offense. I really like Tanner McKee.
Well,
I was so excited to see him, and then he did real well.
either of them can hand it off to Saquon. So if you're ahead, you're fine.
All you have to do is turn around, give it to 26, and then he can kind of just do whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
I do have the Eagles winning, going to the NFC Championship.
Yep. Me too.
So only got 2 games left,
One.
and
Just
it
just
is
one.
the
Or I
no,
guess if
because
we're
we got to talk about this last one and then
yeah
predict the next one.
yeah.
Um, it's
Commanders
we got
Bucks.
Commanders and the Buccaneers. I I had this game on as background noise, and I'm not psyched about it because I kind of thought I knew it was going to be a shootout, but I kind of thought there were going to be more big plays,
Yeah.
and it kind of feels like it didn't really come alive until the end of the game.
I
You
mean,
know,
it was tied up
is
at
that
the
right?
half. No, I mean it was tied up at the half. It wasn't like, there was. I mean, long drives. Yeah, Washington first. They turned over on a 4th and 2 at the goal at the 20. Um, tried to go for it. 17 play touch. Yes, I mean they had a 17-yard drive to score their first touchdown. 9-minute
Hmm.
drive. I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, they controlled the ball most of the first half, um, and then second.
Is there a universe where Brock Bowers gets offensive rookie over Jaden Daniels?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, so rings will always be more important than stats, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it doesn't. I mean, just the QB over the record too. Like, it's not like Brock Bowers was able
So
to carry the Commanders to like the playoffs, or
if
the
you have
Raiders.
the number one, if you have the number one pick in a fantasy football of all time, you would rather have Tom Brady than Patrick Mahomes?
Mm,
He has more rings.
I never said anything about rings, but I think I would still have
I
I'd
but
take Patrick Mahomes.
I would man, Tom Brady's got that dog in him. But I just spent
That was
we just spent the last 20 years glazing that man. We need to glaze a new man. So, um, and I think the future of the NFL is this young man, Jaden Daniels, and that concerns me as an Eagles fan. But I would much rather play Washington in the NFC Championship than Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay, even though they're kind of neutered right now, their team's been hurt. They've been beaten to hell and back. I kind of feel like they're just. I feel like they're tired. I feel like they earned their position in the playoffs. Good. But I think that they were too banged up to keep going, and they did fine. You know, uh, Mike Evans is still Mike Evans. That McMillan guy did fine. Their offense was good. Their defense kept up or tried to. So I don't know. It
No,
came
yeah,
down to the final seconds.
yeah, it came down
So
to the doinker, the doinkin, which was, I
yeah,
mean, fun to see. No, yeah,
and a lot of doinks.
honestly, I thought it was a good game. Um, I enjoyed it. It was fun to watch. I like watching the Commanders. Honestly, I think that they're a fun team.
I
Uh,
think they are now.
yeah,
I felt so bad for them. I'm happy for them.
yeah,
They
it's
are getting past us, but I am happy for them.
yeah. We'll see. So, Commanders, Lions.
Well, these are two very fun teams. One is what Dan Quinn, the other one's Dan Campbell. This is the Dan Bowl. Um, the I feel like I I feel like the easy say is the Lions, but I also kind of feel like they might be going in overconfident. This is their first time getting the number one seed. They just got a bye week in the playoff. That never happens for this team, you know,
Yeah.
historically speaking. So they're just, I kind of feel like they might be suffering from something that old money might be, clued in on. You know, the Chiefs are like, oh yeah, yeah, don't get too complacent, guys. But the Lions might not have that sort of, mindset.
You think they might be
There could
complacent coming
be,
in?
yeah, they might be complacent and not realize that the Redskins are like, oh hey, we haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time either.
Yeah.
So
And they haven't played each other in a while, Washington and the Lions, I think. Because
did they play each other this season?
I would
The
assume.
Lions may have never seen Jaden Daniels yet.
I don't think so because the Lions were the number one in their division, and the Commanders weren't. So, um, Commanders didn't win the division last year, right? Didn't Eagles win it last year too?
No, they did not. Last year it was the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys. Oh, okay. So, yeah. So no, they didn't play this year because I don't think they did.
No, they did not. This is going to be the first time that the Lions see
2022.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
They didn't even play each other in the preseason.
So yeah, I think yeah, I don't know. I can definitely see
It's been
Detroit.
a long time since these guys have played each other.
I think Washington can
Did you say
definitely beat Detroit.
2022?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. 2022. If my
Wow.
I don't know though. That's off the top of my head.
No, I'm looking at it. You're right. Um, I mean, who won that game? The 2022 game?
I think the Lions have won like the last two or three on them. Like I think they're overall they're winning the series, right? Like pretty heavily.
Hmm.
I looked this up
I,
recently. That's why I
I
know.
mean, if Lions are winning the series, then they could just pounce
But
again.
I think the Commanders have
I
been
could see
bad
the
though the
Lions
recent
winning, but
years though. Like so that I think this Commanders team is a lot better than they're probably the last time they've played.
yeah, most likely. Um, I feel like I the Commanders going into this game, they are going to want it. They're going to want it really bad. The Lions may become starting to get normalized with the whole we're making it to the playoffs. We are a legitimate team, but maybe we don't always show up in the playoffs. We're not used to this quite yet. And I think that the Commanders, I, I'm more, I don't want to play the Commanders.
Hmm.
I don't want to play any of these teams. These two teams, they're both very scary. But
You got to
it's like
play
you
one of
said, this
them.
is a completely different Commanders team than what the Lions are used to. You
Yeah.
know,
So you got to play
uh,
one of them.
if I would pick one, I'd rather play the Commanders. Uh, I'm worried about the Lions. I think they're very, very good. I
Yeah.
think Dan Campbell's a very good coach. I think they have good play calling and good scheming. I think that they've turned Goff into a true number one pick overall, and that's scary. He's gone Super Saiyan, you
Yeah.
know, and it's just like, well, shit. Now we got to play that guy, you
Yeah.
know. I'd rather play this young this teen Gohan instead,
I
you
want
know.
I want that's part of I want Goff to make it through because I want to see Mahomes beat him, you know. And I want to see him beat him by like a lot in the Super Bowl. You know, like I want the Lions to make it and then just get like fucking destroyed.
You're a psychopath.
Yeah, I'm sorry, their fans are just, they're getting a little uppity, They're just like kind
They're
of
they finally have a good team. They have a reason to be happy.
it's like they're I know, they do, but it's
This
just
is
like they're
how the
so
Chiefs were in 2021.
I've never been like that
Okay.
though. I've never I'm like that now. But I've still never been
Yeah.
I've never been
Yeah.
like an annoying online presence really about it. In my opinion
Yeah.
at
Not on this
least.
account.
Not not at least not or anonymously maybe, no. No,
Uh.
I think that I don't know, yeah, Detroit fans need need to a little taste of, they need a little humble. Even the players need a little bit of humble pie, a little bit of
I
humble
think just
pie.
being the Detroit Lions is humbling enough. Um.
No, I just want.
Because you're going to get reminded of everything every time you lose. If you
It's
lose in the playoffs, you're going to get reminded of everything. 0-16, blah 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 blah. Just all of the times that the Lions weren't good. Because if you don't win, they're not. They're gonna. They're not going to
if
meet their
not if not
expectations.
now
You
when.
know.
Yeah, if not now when is kind of probably how they're feeling.
hmm
I think honestly,
They're in win now mode,
all
and we're
memeing
playing with house
aside,
money.
yeah, all memeing aside, I think I just want Mahomes to beat Jared Goff. I want after that KC LA game.
The Kansas City Rams game,
Yeah.
man, another good game. Um,
This is kind of yeah. That was like that at the time for a long time. That was Jared Goff's best game. I don't know if that's. I don't think that's his best game anymore, but it still might be.
if if the Eagles and Chiefs are playing in the Super Bowl, what are you doing?
Watching the Super Bowl.
Mm.
Do you want to watch it together? Is that what you're saying?
Do you want to watch it?
Oh,
Yeah, we should. We should stream it. It makes
yeah. We could.
sense.
Yeah, we could stream it.
I, we can't commit to it. I know I'm doing this all on stream. I shouldn't,
Well, I
but
don't know. I don't. Yeah, and I don't know how we would stream. Like,
yeah,
because I
it's,
know we
it's
can't. We can't stream the game,
right.
right?
But we could just set up reaction in the living room or something, and just
Yeah.
not have. Yeah, I don't know. We can figure it out.
Yeah.
Between these two, I think the likelihood it's very likely that the Lions are going to win, and but they could very easily Dan Campbell it, bad call. Washington takes complete advantage of it. You know.
Yeah. No. I
Um,
think. I think in this game, honestly, I want to say definitely. It says that they're giving it 73%, 27% to the Lions. So they're saying the Lions have a 3 or 4 chance to win.
I think everybody's a little kind of underestimating the Commanders
I
here.
agree. I agree.
You know,
Yeah. I honestly I agree. I think that I think the Commanders could come in and get it done.
just because 23-20 isn't a blowout doesn't mean that the Commanders can't compete.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
I think the Commanders could come in and compete, but honestly, it's just like the Lions have been so on it this year, so it's just like if they get to the playoffs and blow it, like man, that'd be crazy.
hmm
I think that'd be crazier than Kansas City. Like if the Lions lose, it'll be crazier than if the Eagles or Kansas City loses.
um,
because I think
Man,
Kansas City is in a position right now. Everyone views Kansas City as like, oh, they shouldn't be a 15-2 team. You know, like even if it is a 15-2 team losing, everyone views Kansas City as like they should be like 10-6. You know,
they should be 10-6, but that's a
or
completely
sorry,
different
10
topic. We
ten and
tried
seven.
talking about it
Sorry,
earlier, but
ten
you
and
insisted
seven.
otherwise. I'd settle for 11-6. I'll give them the Broncos game.
Yeah,
Special teams is part of the
but yeah,
game.
yeah,
I'm not
but
giving them the second Broncos game. The Broncos earned that.
thank you, thank you. You're so gracious, though.
The I if I'm going to give it to anybody, I'm probably going to give it to Washington. Just as a huge surprise, I don't have the Broncos anymore. So I got to go with somebody. I don't see the Texans winning. I don't. The Bills and Ravens are even. I'm rooting for the Eagles. And I can see them winning. So I have them over the Rams. My thing about that game though is everything that's happening in LA right now might have the Rams really like 2007 New Orleans Saints. It was 2008 Saints.
Yeah.
You know, really jazzed up about stuff that's happened in their city and really just trying to like, it's got them fired up. Uh, it's got them wanting to win, I should say.
Well,
Uh,
either way,
oops,
I think it's gonna be a good
yeah.
weekend of football. I think the KC Houston game. It's gonna be entertaining either way. You know, I don't think Chiefs are ever gonna blow anybody out. I mean
I
they
would,
have,
I would
but
also. Oh
you know. Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. No, you said the Chiefs weren't going to blow anyone out, and what else?
Oh, I mean I was gonna say we have this year, but I mean only the Browns, I think. Uh,
Hmm. I was going to say, sorry that I interrupted you, that I think that the Eagles in the NFC Championship, by the way, Rams could be a very good game. Like I said, they could be really wanting to win that, so they might really be going for it. And I feel like Washington and Lions both have the drive, the hunger, but I think the Washington could be a big upset. Also, I would much rather between the three of those teams, with the Rams included, I would much rather play Washington. I still think that they're the weakest of those three opponents. So I'd
yeah.
rather be playing them for the finals to get into the Super Bowl. Like I said, my ideal Super Bowl is a Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl so I can hang out with my friend,
Oh.
but I'm not against a Texans Eagles Super Bowl just for the easy dub.
So you think if the Texans can make it through the Chiefs and make it through the Bills or the Ravens, that they're still an easy dub?
Yeah,
That's
go,
crazy talk.
go Birds.
That's crazy. What if it
You know,
was honestly, you know, it would be kind of like I would be okay with a if the Chiefs lose to the Texans, and they don't win, I'm pissed off. If they don't make it to the Super Bowl, I'm pissed off. If they make it to the Super Bowl and lose, like hey, whatever. But if they don't if they don't win the next game, I'm livid.
oh, if they lose AFC, they're just the Chiefs killers, and then that's it.
That's it. Yeah,
You know,
if they beat the Chiefs and then go on to just like get smacked by the Bills, the Ravens, I'm livid because I'd rather watch my team get smacked by them in the AFC Championship. Um,
hmm
but either way, I be okay with Texans Commanders. I think that'd be a fun Super Bowl too. If it wasn't gonna be like if the Texans are in, I would rather see it. If anybody, I'd rather see the Commanders in. Just get the one of the youth quarterbacks getting a Super Bowl would be cool to see.
um, yeah, that would be cool to see. See a bunch to see the kids get in there. Would you be? Yeah, you'd be fine with a C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels Super Bowl.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I'd be happy for both of those franchises. If not, if it's going to be Chiefs or Ravens, which I'm not excited about because I've seen both of them in the Super Bowl in the last 20 years. I haven't seen the Bills in the Super Bowl in the last 20 years,
But
or the Texans.
think about it this way.
I'm not. I don't want to. But
When was
go
the
ahead.
last time you've seen a three-peat in the NFL?
I have never. And like I said, I do feel a certain level of inevitability behind a three-peat, that even if the
don't you
Eagles
kind of
play, we're
want
going to
to
be having to play against. Huh?
don't you kind of want to witness history in your time?
No. I mean, yes, but no. If the Eagles are knocked out, then I hope the Chiefs beat the hell out of whoever they're playing
Okay,
against.
thank you. That's okay. Fair.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
Hmm. But um, I would be fine with most matchups. I think the one that I may be least interested in would be a Chiefs Rams Super Bowl. Um, because it just didn't we already have that? No,
Those
that was the
Bengals.
Bengals. They played the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would just be like, I feel like
Well,
I've seen this.
it's the same.
You
It,
know, it
it
just
doesn't add any parity to the league because it's the same two quarterbacks who have been in the Super Bowl in the last 5 years. Like
yeah.
two teams that have
And
been, yeah.
even though Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes don't meet that criteria because we've been there, a rematch makes sense. You know,
And it's your team, so obviously.
and also it's my team, so I mean I don't care.
Yeah, the same way. Like, yeah, I
Um,
feel I would love to see more parity in the NFL, except that I'm a Chiefs fan, so I want to see the Chiefs keep winning. So, fuck parity. I want the Chiefs to repeat. I, it's good for the league, whatever. I don't care.
it's bad for the league.
No, it's
It's
good
an
for the
overall
league.
bad thing for the league.
No, it's good for the
It's
league.
shown to make.
It's so good for the league.
Explain the ways. I gotta plug my computer in. Oh goodness.
It's it's history. It brings up people can now debate about, does this put him above Brady? You know,
Um, if the
Four
Chiefs win,
Super
if the
Bowls with
Chiefs
the
three-peat,
three-peat. Does he need one more to
hmm?
be above Brady after the three-peat? If he four-peats, then obviously he's above Brady. But if he skips if he skips 2 years and gets another one, is he above Brady then? Because Brady had to wait 10 years.
Um, if he's, uh, I think he's above Brady if he wins two more Super Bowls. No matter if they are this year, next 5 years, if he's got two more in him, I think he's better than Brady. But I also think
I disagree because I
maybe
think
he's not, because I'm just
because
like, well, he
Brady won
needs to.
Brady won three like Mahomes has, and then if he wins that, that'll be four, and then but Brady won three, skipped 10 years, and then won four in the next seven, right? Eight.
Yeah. Uh, if Brady, if I am going to argue whether or not Mahomes is better than Brady, then I think that there needs to be some certain criteria that needs to be met, and one of that is Mahomes needs to do it somewhere else.
No, I disagree. I don't think Mahomes has to do it somewhere else.
Nah, dude, he
I
needs
think
to do it somewhere else.
he could do.
He needs to do it under a different coach, different regime where there's not a culture that's been
Oh, come on, you
established
can't
and
go
built and
culture or
like plugging
whatever.
around.
I think
You know?
if he three-peats and then wins one more, then it's arguable that especially if he does it in a quicker time frame. But the longevity is going to be Tom Brady's strongest argument in the GOAT conversation, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's it can't be ignored. It's not something that you can kind of just be like, "Oh, but not that part." Like, no,
Yeah,
dude.
and
That's
and then
why Emmitt Smith is also considered a really good running back,
yeah,
one of the
and we
best,
don't
a
we
Hall of
don't
Famer.
if Mahomes wins seven with a three-peat period with the Chiefs, he's better than Brady. It doesn't matter how many years it takes him to do it, in my opinion. If he wins seven, especially if he does it quicker and then retires, like even longevity coming into it, like he three-peated, which Brady never did, and he won seven, like you win. Like you're more dominant in a shorter period of time. Like I think that makes you more of a goat than you know winning three, not doing like kind of making
Taking a
it.
break and then coming back and doing it when you're older.
Yeah, like I think it's
Man, I
I don't
really,
know.
really, really do
That's
think
hard.
that Mahomes would
Longevity
have to go
does.
somewhere else and do it. I think that that's a huge deal
I
in
disagree
regards to
because I
the
think
Peyton Manning
if he gets to
argument.
seven, if he gets to seven, Andy will be gone. I think Andy being gone will be enough.
I think if they three-peat I think Andy retires this year.
Oh, hard disagree. I think Andy's at least got two more in him.
I don't know. I think after getting three in a row and been doing this for a minute, and do you think he's really trying to like be the best there ever was? You
So,
know?
so you think if Andy retires and then Mahomes wins three more, like within the next 6 or 7 years, that's not like indicative of Mahomes. Like if it, like we go next year to the playoffs, we lose first round, or even miss the playoffs
If
after Andy Reid leaves. If we miss the playoffs
it,
once, that would be enough to reset. And then what if he does it? Like we go through two coaches and then he wins three more.
he needs to do it somewhere else. They've
It
already built
doesn't
a
matter.
culture around him. They built a stadium around him and all
That's
this different stuff. They
oh,
built everything around
that's
him.
crazy. Built a stadium
You know?
around him. What are you talking about? Arrowhead's
Well, you
been
know,
there.
it's been there. I mean, okay, not that's not what I mean. They built like not the stadium itself, but just like I'm sure on the walls of the stadium, there's Patrick Mahomes' face and jersey somewhere.
That's wild because
I
as
feel like
soon as they got Tom Brady at Bucks, they started throwing Tom Brady shit everywhere.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're
But that's
building a culture.
but I'm saying
But
like
he did it somewhere else.
mm, the culture was already there. They were already like one of the best offensive lines in the league.
I
Like
mean,
they
but he
had.
did go into the best situation for him at the time,
I'm just
you
saying
know?
I don't think going somewhere else and doing it matters as much as I don't think it holds as much weight as just winning because I think winning is hard no matter where you go and do it, and especially if you're doing it consistently in a if if you're doing it consistently on with different coaches, I think that holds some weight.
Hey, I got a scenario for you. Let's say Mahomes, all right, he um three-peats, they win this year, okay? And then Andy retires, like I said, and then they drop off really hard. They hit a skid for the next 3 years. The Chiefs cut Mahomes to get his contract off of their back, you know. He goes to the Chargers or the Raiders and has a revival of his career and wins three more. Do you still agree that he's the GOAT then?
Yeah, I would. I would hate him though. Like
Does that scenario break your heart a little bit?
it does. It would break my heart. I don't think I just the reason why you say he has to do it somewhere else. I don't think he ever will. Like he's never
I
gonna
don't think,
leave.
yeah. Well,
And
we said the same thing about Tom Brady.
I could
Everybody said he was going to retire a Patriot.
I don't know. I don't know. I think people like towards I remember talks of it towards the end of it, like him and Bill Belichick not really seeing eye to eye anymore and like blah 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 blah.
What if there's just this weird falling out between Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid?
I think like I said,
No, like I said, it would have to be Andy would have to retire.
no, yeah,
It would have to
Andy's
be
gonna
it would have to be
retire,
post
but
Andy.
I just don't Mahomes is never willingly gonna
They
go and
bring in Robert Saleh.
I think Mahomes is the type of guy that wants to I think he just wants to retire a chief. Like I really do think that. Like I really think he's gonna retire a chief. He just doesn't.
Man,
I think that's just what he's gonna do. I don't think it's gonna matter because I think he has such a pull in the organ. It's like Aaron Rodgers. It's like they let Aaron Rodgers do. I think if once Andy Reid leaves, like Lamar, like the Hunt organization, Clark isn't gonna just like let Mahomes walk. Like it's gonna be like, hey, you want to like, what do you want? Like tell us what you want, and like we will get it for you. Like we will do whatever we can to keep you here because you're like, it's Patrick Mahomes. Like it doesn't matter. Like
Our entire franchise was a completely different thing before you showed up.
yeah, exactly.
It
Like
was a whole other thing.
yeah, like he is like the Chiefs organization. Like he's the face. Like one of the like he's the most popular.
He's the face of goddamn football.
Yeah, he is. Like yeah,
This should have been Johnny Manziel.
yeah, and it's so much, and it's more so, especially with like just I don't know, like the way the NFL is today. Like, or maybe it feels different because I'm not a Patriots fan, but I'm sure that's how Tom Brady. They felt for Tom Brady in the first 4 years. Those first like 5 years that he won three.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah, I could, I can't ever. And like you said, you never know. He could. I could never see Mahomes wearing another uniform. It'd be so weird.
I could. It would be so. The tough thing about the GOAT argument is, um, none of these guys play defense.
True.
So, you know, you kind of need a guy who does both, um, for like the GOAT. So we have to go all the way back to like 1923.
Oh, shut up.
Um, but I mean, to be honest with you, if I have like the number one pick in super fantasy all time greats right at their peak, I'm taking Peyton fucking Manning.
Nah, cause Mahomes had the 55,000 too, so I'm taking Mahomes still. Mahomes is way more athletic and has shown that he can have crazy years like that. That he can have just as good of a year, regardless of whether or not he's, you know, I'm taking Mahomes because Mahomes is way
What was
more.
his touchdowns that year?
Not what
Was it 58, 59 or whatever?
no, that was Peyton, right? That was like
Yeah,
he didn't have as
that
many
was 2013.
touchdowns. No, he didn't break Peyton's touchdown record, but he broke. I think he was at 50 exactly, and then like 5,100
Oh,
yards.
hmm.
But it might have been more. I can't remember off the top of my head. But still,
I'm
like
taking Peyton.
I'm not. I'm taking Mahomes. Mahomes is way more athletic,
I
and
remember that
especially if
2013
you're
season. He went crazy.
if you're talking fantasy all time, like, are we drafting with people like our age? Because, no one's like pulling like. Then what are we playing modern day football rules? Because
Yeah, yeah.
that you're talking about people are gonna want to try and
You
talk
can
about
still get
pulling.
you can still go and get Sammy Baugh if you want.
Yeah, like you're talking about like I'm gonna go get like some fucking like hard hitting defensive tackle from the '60s, and it's like dog, like he gets flagged every play because he doesn't know how to play
Oh
modern
yeah.
day
He
football.
doesn't know
Like
how to play.
yeah,
He's like a he's like we pulled him out of a time pulled
yeah,
him
like
back from time. He doesn't know
he's
he's like
spear
James Harrison out there.
he's spearing everybody.
He's spearing he's hurting quarterbacks.
Yeah, so I don't know.
He's high on cocaine and steroids and he's hurting quarterbacks.
Like we're playing today's football, like I'm taking Patrick Mahomes because Patrick Mahomes is way more athletic and mobile, especially you're talking like peak, like top of their actually, I might take Lamar. Oof. I don't know.
Oh my God. That's
It's
terrifying. I can't
it's
believe you just
it's
said that.
it's hard to say honestly. Like I don't know. It's crazy because Lamar, man, Lamar's been doing some crazy things this year. It's hard. This next game is really gonna like settle in for me. Like, okay, like they're kind of like it's kind of like what I thought. Like once they played like a good team, but actually it'll probably have to be against Kansas City because I don't think Bills defense is that good. So if
I
it might be a
hmm,
shootout against Buffalo if they win against Buffalo or if they lose to Buffalo, it's gonna be in a shootout. I think.
the Chiefs.
No, Baltimore.
Hmm. It's going to have to be a shootout. It's going to be what I think is going to happen is the Ravens are going to get ahead very early. Bills defense isn't going to show up for Derrick Henry and Lamar, and they're going to have huge, just big long plays, and they're going to get an early lead just like this last game. But the Bills are going to start. Josh Allen's going to start playing hero ball, and he's going to throw like 5 touchdowns, trying to keep him in the game. You know, uh, might even run a couple in because that's just what he does. but Lamar and Derrick Henry are just going to keep draining the clock and sort of slowing him down and not giving him the time to throw the ball as much, or run the ball as much. So I don't know. I think it could go. I still could go either way, but I think the Ravens got it.
Yeah, I think, but
I
yeah,
think they're just going to burn the clock too much for him to handle.
it'll be interesting to see the Chiefs Ravens, and that's going to be the real like test for me for Lamar. I mean, if he can get past, our defense is really good, so they've lost some
Yeah.
games this year, so I could see them.
Yeah.
They're 12-5.
They let the Broncos drop 38 points on them.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah. Interesting weekend. Excited.
Mm-hmm.
I don't got anything else, I don't think.
I think that's it. I won't do Super Bowl predictions until we can do them next time or
I
whatever.
mean, we can do who we think is going to be in the Super Bowl if you want. Like, we don't have to say who thinks going to win,
Well,
but
I already said this stream. I already said it a couple
yeah,
times.
I think
I think it's going to be Chiefs I think it's going to be a Chiefs Eagles rematch, but I
I think
think the Eagles are
it's
going to win.
I think it's Chiefs Lions.
I could see the Lions,
Yeah.
but that's why I'm really, really banking on Commanders doing something about that for us.
Yeah, this weekend's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I think I'm glad I am glad the Chiefs are the Saturday game, so I get to just like watch and know like how pissed I get to be for the rest of the you know, rest of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We're the first
And just
game.
get yours out of the way, and then be like, all right.
Yeah, like do I even turn on the rest of football for the rest of the year? Do I just go sulk, or am I like, all right, who we playing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
If the Chiefs lose, you're not going to watch any of the games. You're done.
I'm done.
Does ADP 420 come to an end because the Chiefs lost a playoff game?
If that's how it has to go, that's how it has to go.
What? That's crazy. Oh, that's too funny.
No, I think we just have to turn it into a movie stream or something.
I mean, I'm still fine with the movie stream idea.
No, I think I mean I would watch the rest of the games because honestly I would still want to watch to see who wins. It
If
would just be very sad watching. I would then be an Eagles fan
Yeah, let's
slash
go.
Eagles, then Lions, then Buffalo, then Houston,
Hmm.
then Rams, then Commanders. Actually, Commanders probably
I'd say Commanders are pretty high for
probably
me. If the
probably
Eagles lose and the
Eagles,
Commanders make it, you know,
Commanders, Lions, Houston, Buffalo, Baltimore, Rams. Yeah.
man, Rams is pretty low down that list.
Yeah, Rams is last. Yeah, Rams is last on the list.
And that's the team. That's the order of the teams you're rooting for the most.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, I I'm not rooting for either I'm not rooting for the Ravens. I'm not rooting for the Chiefs. I'm rooting for the Chiefs for your sake, and
Oh.
also Chiefs Eagles broship exists, so there has to be a little bit of love there. Uh, but the Chiefs we've been giving them too much of our energy, and they've been using it for like the last 6 years now,
Yeah, we're keeping it.
and that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. You're keeping it,
Yeah, sorry,
so
bud.
it's okay. Uh, but I would say I want the Eagles. I'm rooting for the Eagles the most, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Um, Behind them, honestly, I'm rooting for Washington. Uh, I want them because their previous owner was not great. They've been
Yeah.
kind of in the basement of the division a few times.
And it's
It's been a while since Kirk Cousins been
yeah,
around.
and they've been like
So,
very like they haven't been I'm sure they haven't been making Dan Snyder like a ton of money. I'm sure they're an NFL team, so I'm sure they're still making money, but they weren't
hmm
making like he leaves and like they're gonna be like if they win, they're gonna become so much more profitable.
yeah. Oh, it's gonna be
Yeah,
crazy.
and
There
he's
for
just
a
like,
while, I was hoping they would sell and Oklahoma City would buy them,
yeah, that would have been so
and then it
cool.
could
I
be
just want,
the
ugh.
the Oklahoma City at the time it was still the Redskins. It would be the Oklahoma City Redskins versus the Dallas Cowboys. I think that'd be cool. You know,
Yeah.
Cowboys versus Indians, Red River rivalry type deal. So, uh, but we kind of had to step away from that name as a society.
Yeah, but they could have come to OKC and then taken whatever name they wanted still.
True.
But oh well, we'll never get an NFL team.
Hopefully the rest of the NFL has learned their lesson about Native American appropriation in regards to their team names.
They want more. They want more teams. They should do another expansion. You know.
The there's only one real problem team right now, and it's getting a lot of exposure. No, it's fine. The Chiefs are going to be okay. Do you remember the controversy about that kid in blackface?
Yes. His like
Uh,
he was Indian and Native
he
American,
was where
excuse
he was.
me.
Yeah,
His grandpa was Native American as well. And like, but his grandpa was like part of a tribe, and they were like, oh, well, we're not okay with any memorabilia being used, you know, blah blah blah, and yeah.
hmm
It was a whole thing.
that was the whole thing. Everybody's gonna forget about it in 10 years,
I think most people
but
already have.
no, I brought it back up.
Well, yeah, that's to most
Uh,
people. Like, I don't think like the casual fan really remembers a ton. I don't think most Chiefs haters or Chief haters really remember that like top. I don't see a ton of people like when it's talking about how shitty the Chiefs are. No one's talking about, oh, your fans are, because it came up that
that one kid was not racist, huh?
yeah, because it came out that he was Native American himself and wasn't, and obvious, and they were twisting it by only showing the
Yeah, he's
ones.
just a kid,
Well, and
you
they were
know.
only showing the one side,
Yeah,
and that's like the most.
that cameraman kind of knew what he was doing.
Yeah, it was like he was half and half, and yeah, they were like, okay. So yeah, that was kind of. I think once people like realized they were like, no one really wanted to hold on to that story as like a reason, because it's pretty easy to be like, yeah, you're being like most of the things that
We're kind of bullying this kid, aren't we?
yeah. So yeah, I don't know, like yeah, Chiefs are cool. Our fans are okay.
They're all right. The Chris Jones and Jalen Watson
Chris Jones did a
are
strip
both
show.
practicing in full, so they're going to be there today, this weekend. What?
I said Chris Jones did a stripping show.
Mm.
Cause
That is not the news I was going to mention.
yeah, it's called the Full Monty, the real Full Monty. It's apparently like James Vanderbeek, I think is his name, set up like a charity night where they do, I guess it's based off an old thing that's it's called the Full Monty, and like at the end they put a hat in front of their junk, and then they rip their bottoms off, and then they take their hats off and wave to everybody naked. You don't get to see their junk, but
Whoa! It sounds like they're exposing their genitals.
yeah, they do, I think. But who knows? They
Wild.
might they might have cock socks
Yeah.
on.
No. Have you ever heard of the Full Monty? You sound like you're new to
Yeah, I hadn't heard
this.
of it
You're
before.
kind of new
I
to
hadn't
this
I
thing.
hadn't heard of it before then.
It
Yeah.
was a very. I remember it being a movie back in the '90s about a bunch of male strippers who did exactly what you said. I think it's a British culture thing.
Yeah, and but well, they did
Um,
it to raise the Chris Jones did it to raise awareness for cancer, or money and awareness for cancer. The whole thing is for cancer because apparently James Vanderbeek, I think is who it is. I can't remember. Has cancer, and he was like him coming out about it, and it was supposed to be oh, who's the
Wait, Dawson has cancer? You said James Vanderbeek has cancer?
I think that's who it was. Yeah,
Oh, I hope he's okay.
yeah. But yeah, it was supposed to be the old basketball player. What's his name? Dwight Howard. It was supposed to be Dwight Howard, but then he got talked out of it by his friends. They were like, I don't know. I think it's kind of weird that you're out there doing that, because he's stripping, culturally not acceptable. So he backed out, and Chris Jones came in.
Hmm.
Chris Jones says I already have my.
Um,
Chris Jones already had it out on TV, so.
the full Monty is British slang of uncertain origin, by the way. It's from Wikipedia. It means everything which is necessary, appropriate, or possible, the works, if you will. Similar North American phrases include the whole kit and caboodle, the whole 9 yards, the whole ball of wax, the whole enchilada, the whole shebang, or going the whole hog.
Yeah, well,
I
yeah,
haven't heard that last one.
I've heard
Have
of.
you ever gone the whole hog?
No, but I've heard of full Monty as in like going all in kind of thing. Yeah, I just didn't know of it as like a stripping thing.
But yes, it's the movie's about stripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, to strip all the way. To show them the whole kit and the caboodle.
But yeah, I don't got
Well, good
anything.
for Chris Jones, but it looks like a lot of people are practicing. Terrion Arnold's practicing, so it's going to be everybody's getting healthy.
Yeah, I
But
think I said the only people.
it is midnight.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's getting late, so.
Yeah. Oh, there's just one more thing talking about George Pickens possibly getting traded.
Oh
See how
yeah,
that winds up.
I think he might bring him to the Chiefs. You know. We'll take.
Man, he's got attitude problems.
Yeah, but you know you're winning.
I mean, how's Juju Smith-Schuster doing over there?
He was doing fine. He's he's doing
Oh,
okay.
oh yeah, he is doing fine, isn't he? Hmm.
Yeah. Let's
Well,
see. So
but
Miko's on the
all right.
IR. Yeah, Jalen's on IR. We got a lot of people on IR. Whew.
I mean, y'all been pretty beat up this year.
Yeah. But all right.
Oh, I'll catch you next time. Goodbye,
Yes.
everybody.
Bye.